All aboard, it's Jang here with a look at all of the Playmobil Series 9 figures from the mystery packs. This is all the ones from the blue packs and from the pink packs. I'm going to go through each figure one by one, letting you see what they look like from every angle, and I'm just going to switch back and forth between the blue and pink ones. The first one on the list is this general, French general, definitely not Napoleon, tongue-in-cheek. No, it's totally Napoleon, they just didn't name him that way, I believe. This is a pretty good looking figure, a historical figure with a nice print on the torso. The foil that he has, or the sword, I don't know the proper term for the type of sword for that day, but you can see it has a flexible kind of rubbery plastic that's used for the blade of it so that it's not too dangerous, but it is still kind of pointy at the end and it's not completely rubbery. Not a lot to be seen from the back of this one. I do appreciate the epaulettes, I believe that they're called. It's done in a kind of pearly gold color and does also have a scabbard to hold on to that sword. The first one to look at from the pink packs is this Queen of the Night. This is a very nice figure. Her staff is actually a kind of pearly color. It's got just a little bit of metallic or iridescent flake in it. So it's not just a plain blue color. This has a special hair piece to accommodate the crown that's inserted into there. So that's a separate piece. You see it has a hole and a little bit of indentation in there to hold all of that in place. And the back of the hair also has an interesting mold to it, interesting texture. This is a separate piece right here, which is done in a pearly white color. Also, her long gloves are in a very, very pearly white color, not just plain. The jeweled elements there, actually, you've got them coming down the front of the dress, and also the star right there in the center. Those are adhesive backed, so you have to apply them yourself. The dress itself obviously is very translucent, almost transparent, but has just a little bit of kind of a matte finish to it. Not a whole lot to be seen from the back except for that interesting hair. But there's actually print on the leg pieces here as well. So let me take this off. It's two halves, but I want you to see what that looks like under there. And there's that. See, it actually makes for a pretty good figure just like this, even without the add-on dress pieces. Next up is the Park Ranger here, Forest Service Ranger, with very appropriate colors. I like how just very nature-y feeling every single color is on this figure, from the collar down to the boots. And I like that kind of teal. It's like a dark greenish teal color that's used for much of it. He comes with his compass there with the insert that's a sticker inside of it. Has print on the shoulder there. The backpack has the green insert, which is a little bit on the bright side, but still kind of fits in with the nature theme overall. I like the cargo pants with the kind of molded pocket details on him, and he just has a regular face. It's a very, very approachable, very helpful looking figure. This one is the Bride, and her color is not the lightest Caucasian tone. It's a little bit more tan than that. I like that. There's just a little bit of a mark on the neck that's not supposed to be there, but you can just ignore that. This comes with a bunch of flower pieces. You actually have to place the small flower elements onto her hair band there. All of this is a very, very pearly white color. Lots of flowers in that bouquet there. This is nicely flowing out the back of a little bit of a tail of the dress there, and you can really just see how pearly it is, how the light reflects off in different ways. And this one has a very different style of legs in order to accommodate that dress the way that it's done. You can see that the legs do appear under there, and she's got some nice medium heel shoes on, but there you can see the difference of how this is actually built. That's a very long leg piece that starts from here. It's connected here, and then it goes all the way up inside of this kind of tube of a dress. This is the one that I've referred to as a Prussian or Imperial German jailer. Another historic figure there. And you see he's got the keys there. That's why I think that he's watching over a jail. Looks like he's a little bit thicker than normal with his build. Nice sword on the side there with a scabbard as well. His helmet is pretty nicely shaped. That's an intentional seam going down the center of it in the back there, not just a little bit of the manufacturing process. You see it's nice and smooth from the front, nice little detailing in here. This is a somewhat classic kind of looking figure. It doesn't have any details that are too modern, I would say. It's fairly simplistic. This is the Western lady. I've sometimes called her bartender. Has a good amount of detail in the torso and front of skirt print there. It gets fairly fine. Nice fan, which is printed up pretty well. It's got her necklace, which is in black, and also has some applications to the back of her hairpiece there with the black. That's all just one thing, kind of a medium hard plastic rubber. I do appreciate how the kind of lace-like designs continue around to the back rather than just being solid back there. And this one also has the exact same style of legs as the bride did, that fit up inside of the skirt there to fit into a normal body. Here's the Gladiator with some animal skin prints. He's got the small dagger there, but his primary weapon is an axe. Note the print on the arm as well, the band there. That's actually pretty nice and pretty fine. I really like the kind of copperish color that Playmobil has, kind of dark, it's kind of a high copper bronze color. It almost looks like, just very, very antique-y looking. I just like that color. I also like the legs on this one. One thing that I don't like about this one is that at least with the couple that I got, I've not had good luck with the attachment of the helmet to the head. It's actually a little bit on the loose side for both of them. I don't know if that's an issue with the design here. It snaps on a little bit, but not too much. But with that off, you can see what the face looks like under there with the 5 o'clock shadow. The visor on this helmet does not come up, so it has a hinge on it, but it's not able to really work. You could leave it off though if you want. This one's a nurse and a pretty basic figure, but a really, really useful one to have, and something that's good to even get multiples of. If you end up getting more than one of these, just change out to the hair piece, swap it with some other figure, and then you have multiple nurses for any sort of medical building or area. You could see them as actually working with humans, or if you're more into animals, you could see this as a veterinarian. That is a sticker on the clipboard piece there. She's also got her stethoscope. There's no print to be seen from the back here, but I think this is a pretty well done figure for what it's trying to be. I think that it looks good, and like I said, just swap out the hair piece and you can get some different variants. This one is listed as the Break Dancer, and he's got a really crazy color scheme and a really crazy loud print. I really like the boombox that he comes with that radio. It's actually a 3-piece unit, so you get the front and the back. Those are both gunmetal gray colored parts, and then all the red stuff is just one piece that's held in, that's clipped inside of all that. He's got extra thick pants, kind of super baggy looking, and also the add-on hood piece that kind of hangs off the back to make it look like he's wearing a hoodie entirely. The print, as you can see, goes all the way around the outsides of the arms, all the way to the back, but there's no further prints to be seen from the back of the torso of this one. It has just a regular circle style of hair, so that when you put this on, it's actually snapping on under there. It's not just slipping over the top. And yeah, that's it for that one. This is the granny figure, a very delightful looking citizen, just a normal person who has a generic enough style that I think she could fit into some different time periods. She has a purse there, and you see that her jacket is a piece that's been used with a number of different types of figures from different themes, historical themes as well, and they made it work. It works really well with even looking at this as being a fully modern, current time period character. Still looks pretty good. I like her shoes as well. This is nicely put together. Here's the king of the dwarves, who is a shorter than normal figure by virtue of just the legs. He has normal parts from the waist up, but just the legs themselves are shorter, but still adult width and thickness. I really like all the gold stuff, especially what they've done on the shoulders there. That's not an add-on piece that you have to put on separately. It's just molded together. It has a small sword there, which can also be put into the kind of scabbard in his waist. And this is a ceremonial horn, which has the same paint color. It's a printed on or painted color as his crown. It's extra metallic, more so than the rest of the gold that you see on this one. And just finishing out around the back, his cape looks pretty good. All this just snaps on. It's actually a pretty rubbery piece, so there you can see a little bit more what's going on beneath all that. And there's what he looks like from the front without the cape. This ballerina figure has the pearly white color for her short tutu and also for her torso. So on that torso, or the front of the chest, and a little bit on the sides, where going right up to the shoulders where the arms connect, that's actually painted on or printed on to get that flesh tone, which is why you can notice the difference in tone. They actually have a slight mismatch in color between the paint and the plastic for the same flesh tone. You can see it also pretty obviously between the neck and the head itself. So that's a little bit off, unfortunately. Also, I wish that the tutu would actually cover the front. You can see a little bit of the hip piece showing through there. I like what they did with the shoes for this one and the straps. That's nicely done. And speaking of straps, I also like what they did along the back. So they kind of masked off areas where they were printing on or painting on the flesh color, so you get the appearance of straps there. The legs on this one move independently of the hip piece here, so it's done kind of like the ones with the changeable skirt or over dress pieces. The way that goes together. It's a good subject matter, but I feel like there are just a few things that are not executed that well in the way that this one is produced. This is the flying ninja, and he's got the double-ended sword there and also a short sword. There's a print on the torso, and it also continues on into the legs a bit, so you can see a little bit more of that beneath there. The wings here are made of a flexible material. It's that kind of hard rubber color or rubber material. You can kind of pose them up a little bit, and over time you can kind of rebend them. Right now they're by default they're kind of bending in towards the front, but over time you can change that out. You can also swap them from side to side if you want to, but you can see how those are just attached to little hinges on the back, and you can of course take those off if you don't want them to be winged and make them look just a little bit more traditional. This flight attendant figure is another one that looks fairly classic, but also sufficiently modern at the same time. Not too fancy, but just another really good subject matter to capture in Playmobil form, and useful not just with airport displays, but she could be just on leave, on break or something. Also comes with a bit of wheeled luggage there, which is able to open up. You can take the back of it off. She's got one hair clip on there as well. It's a nice small little detail that's added on, and just a little bit of printing going around the arms, which I believe is actually from what I see on the other side, I believe on both sides that's printed twice. So they actually put down silver first and then follow up with red to make it a little bit more bright. The more I look at this painter figure, the more I like it. I really appreciate the splotches of paint that are on various parts of his body, and also you can see that the print on the main torso piece actually extends underneath to make it look like he's got overalls on. That could have been printed just a little bit thicker though, or like have a double print on it for the white there, because you can see that some of the green kind of shows through, not just at the bottom but just for the whole thing. Would have been nicer if that was a little bit more obvious that they are overalls that are over a green shirt that's underneath. His paintbrush here is an interesting piece. It's the first time I personally have owned that piece. I don't know its history, but it's long and has a big kink in the end of it to bend it around. And his paint bucket has a single sticker that is included in the set that you have to apply and wrap all the way around there. This is a fairy, very colorful in the front, very nice design there, very flowing. Her staff in this case has the pearl white color and then translucent pink. She has prints on her arms, and the prints are different. So on this side you get those glyphs. Here you can see the kind of translucent wings, which have just a little bit of glitter in them. In this particular lighting it's not quite so easy to see, but there's a little bit of shine to those, just slight. You know, it's fairly subtle. And then you can see the butterfly emblem that's printed onto the other side. This is another figure that uses the different style of legs that are extra long, and they kind of connect right here and then just fit up inside of the real outer leg pieces or leg piece that forms the bottom of the dress. This Mongolian Archer just happens to have been one of the earlier figures that I got from this series, and I still like it. I like the choice of color there. It's a complex color, the kind of brownish yellow. It's got a lot of glyphs going down the front. I don't know if that's proper written language or if it's just kind of made up, but it looks good. He's got his long bow here. Also comes with a sword for if he gets into close-up engagements. And he's got his quiver on the back with the single piece set of arrows. So all of those are just connected together. And that's just 3 that are basically bent together. He also has a sheath on his back. Sorry about my hand in the way there, but has a sheath on the back for his sword. So most of the time you probably just have the sword in that. But yeah, once again, another pretty good looking figure, and I think that the headgear and the coloration are the highlights to me. Here's the lady cat, kind of a take on a Catwoman sort of figure, partly masked up there, and she does come with that cat with the almost glowing looking eyes. It doesn't actually glow, it's just a very bright kind of neon green color. Her headpiece, the human's headpiece, is probably the most interesting thing in this set to me. That is a silicone rubber piece, and it just slips over, and it actually fits on there pretty well. And I do want you to see what her eyes look like with that off. A little bit more expressiveness than you see with it on, but those just fit there. You just have to kind of line it up properly. And I think the eyes don't line up absolutely perfectly with the width, but it's pretty good. Sorry about that, little cat. This Native American Tomahawk Warrior is probably the most ornate figure in this entire series, and has a lot of pieces that it comes with, because the feathers that hang down from the shield are attached separately. You've got separate ponytail pieces that are attached on to extend up the hair. Also has the waistband. You get the tomahawk itself, and then also you see the accessory around the back to create a little scabbard point where you can holster the tomahawk as well. Also has the feather up there, which is printed on just one side, and there's lots of printing. You saw the printing on the left arm as well, and it comes down, there's print that comes down the legs on both sides. I think the front of the torso is done pretty nicely. The shield is very nice. I like the colors there. It's got that bear claw print on the front as well. This is nice. This is very displayable. This is the fencer. It's a female figure. I'll show you the face more clearly in just a minute, but I like how they brought in the mesh kind of look there. That's just printed onto a bit of transparent plastic that's molded in. So there is some print on the legs and also print on the arm here that you can see. A little bit of a forward lean to this. I don't know if that's intentional, but it does appear in the pose, the kind of marketing pose that they did to show what this figure would look like. Print on the back as well. Didn't expect that to go around. I thought it was just going to be just plain gray going around the back after I saw it from the front. And her foil is fairly simple and small. I guess it's a competition style one. And like I said, gotta take that headgear off so you can see what the face looks like, and also the rest of the style of the hair here. So you see it's all tied up in the back and fairly short. Here's the Team Playmobil Tennis Ace figure. He has 2 rackets, and they are both dark gunmetal gray in color. His headband, sweatband is unbelievably thick there and very obvious. It's just a piece that fits onto a circle style of hair piece. The hair is extra wide, not one of the traditional older molds. No print to be seen on the back of the torso here for this one. But yeah, not a whole lot to really see here. Pretty much from the front you can see all that there is. It's got the wristbands as well, sweat bands for the arms as well. And yeah, that's it for this one. Next up is the Skater Girl, and I liked this one right from the start, and I feel like it has actually grown on me even further. This one has a nice color scheme, nice level of attitude that is kind of projected by the styling here. I like the hair, I like the choice of the eyeshadow color. The prints are nice, and this one also has a speckle mix of plastic, so the light lavender color here for the torso actually has a darker little bit, just small flecks that are included in there that's not painted on the outside. Only the stars are painted on. The rest is actually in the plastic, all molded together. It's a nice little effect. I like the lightning print across the front, and that's also done in a metallic silver color. It's pretty shiny. The hood matches her sleeves. They're actually all kind of pearlescent themselves, so not just a plain color there, so a lot of different stuff. And she comes with the skateboard as well, which has a nice heavy base to it, so this will actually roll along pretty well, and also has the stand on there that allows you to change her angle, so you can angle her forward, sideways, or anywhere in between. And the deck itself has a pretty nice, well detailed multiple color print on it, and there you can see which color is actually its own plastic color, and it has handholds on the sides as well, so you can hold that in front of her. This is the second to final figure I'm going to show here. This is the Dark Ghost, or the Black Ghost. I really don't like the outer piece. This is all one slightly soft plastic. It's not like the hard rubber or soft rubber or anything like that. It has some flexibility to it, but it's mostly relatively rigid. But I don't like the design on that. It looks kind of weird to me. I actually like the figure underneath quite a bit. This is a nice flowing shape out there, but in black like this just doesn't look that good to me overall. But the figure itself beneath, which can be viewed very easily, and this will still just stand up on its own, you can just leave it like that. This is nicely printed all the way through, and it's glow in the dark as well. The plastic that's used is glow in the dark, and also the paint has an application of glow in the dark spray that's added to it or mixed in with it. I'm not sure exactly how they did that, but there's no print on the back of this one, unfortunately, but the front is done well, and you get the bone detail on both arms as well. Let me go ahead and see if I can show you what that looks like glowing. Unfortunately, it doesn't really show through very well on camera. Nowadays, things that glow in the dark just aren't as strong as they used to be. I think they've just made them safer that way, but I'm just using a little black light flashlight here to give it a quick charge. I did charge this up quite a bit, but I didn't charge it with the brightest light that I have. It will glow decently well at night if you charge it up quite a lot, but it's nice to have the effect, but I wish that it would last for longer. And last but certainly not least is the Samba Dancer. Wow, what an impact this figure makes, and the print on the front of her torso is fantastic. Has multiple colors there, and even the areas where they didn't add on print just kind of adds to the design. It's really nice. A pair of maracas there, and the wing elements are really nicely printed with multiple colors once again, and those are slightly flexible elements, not as much so as the wings on the fairy. Also, there's no glitter or kind of pearlescence to those wings. They're just neon, you know, they're just really, really bright in color. And her headdress is also neon, you know, very, very fluorescent kind of color. So this one really, really, really stands out. Speaking of standing, comes with the stand as well, so that helps her to balance with all that extra weight in the bag. So that's it. That is all of them. Let me know in the comments what you think about this series on the whole, and if you have a favorite figure or two out of all of these. Also, if you'd be so kind, please do let me know if there's anything that you would like me to do differently or better with my coverage of these figure series. Obviously, I'm always going to be opening them up from mystery packs, and I am limited in with time as far as how quickly I can get these things, because I am in the United States and we tend to get new Playmobil stuff last, but I try to get them as quickly as I can. But yeah, like I said, just let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to do differently with the openings of the packs, and also with the review of the entire series. Thanks in advance for your feedback, and I'll talk to you again very soon.